Alright, Shin. Stand on business then. And whatever you do, don't lose. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 192 of Sakamoto, which is known as I almost choked, but True Feelings. And I don't know, y'all. Like, would it be an interesting arc? Absolutely. Do I trust Suzuki Sensei to go down that path with Shin? Not at all. Is it like, I mean, like, he could catch a body. He could catch a body. And a lot of y'all did explain to me that ultimately we never technically have seen Shin's ability blocked, only dodged and like avoided. Like we haven't seen it like nagged directly. So technically it does work. So hypothetically he could put Tenkyu in a body bag, but like I just do not see the vision. Right now, I just do not see the vision. But let's see if Shin can open my eyes and help me see the vision. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me. Hey, keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. The real question is, right? If it's not going to be this, what will it be? That's the question on the top of my dome piece. Because the main thing is, I think Shin taking a life, even if it is Tenkyu's life, someone who is clearly irredeemable. Don't get me wrong. The one thing I agree with everybody in the comments on, and I agree with Shin on, Tenkyu is a monster. He's an animal. He's a creature beyond creature. But like, and you know what? Another thing I'll super double down on. As everyone else pointed out, and I keep forgetting, I don't know why I keep forgetting this very simple fact. Civilians are not allowed to be targeted by the JA. Maybe if a civilian gets a bounty on their head and an assassin is specifically hired to go get them, then that changes, obviously. But like, as long as civilians are civilians who are not being targeted, the JA is specifically prohibited from attacking them. And so far, the only JA member, and this is member in heavy quotation marks, the only JA member who's even insinuated something as devious and diabolical as what Tenkyu is more than willing to do is Torres. And even then, he didn't specifically want to slaughter, I don't think, Sakamoto's family. He just wanted to kidnap the wife and kid. Which I know, me saying, oh, he just wanted to kidnap the wife and kid. It still is absurd and crazy and devious and diabolical, and it's actually wild that that statement flew so easily out my mouth. But like, at least it's not taking lives, all right? So the thing that I find just so, and with that being the case, technically Shin kind of is justified with this being his breaking point, especially as someone laid it out so perfectly. I'm not sure if it was in last week's comment section or before that, but someone in a comment explained Shin's like gung-ho, let's just do it mentality. Ultimately, it's not just us who have noticed the fact that Shin, for all intents and purposes, has been taking a lot of L's. Like, a lot of L's. Like, hasn't had a solo dub in over 100 chapters kind of L's. Like, he isn't the only one to notice that. Or we aren't the only ones that noticed that. Shin noticed that as well. And thusly, he's kind of just acting without thinking. Not even in the sense that he hasn't had any downtime to sit down and think. There have been multiple arcs since Shin's like last major W, and there have been multiple time periods in between said arcs that have allowed him to sit down and rest. Heck, the Sakamoto recovery period was what, like nearly 2 weeks? Or like a week when he was knocked out, and then Shin just had time to sit back and think. So ultimately, Shin right now is on go mode to the utmost extreme, and is not thinking straight, clearly not fully reflecting on anything, and right now just feels inadequate, right? Like, ultimately, he feels inadequate. He has a threat to the people who saved and changed his life before his very eyes. And ultimately, all these feelings of confusion and resentment and desire to just go and move forward at the cost of anything, all of this sort of culminates into the perfect yet horrific boiling pot that is a Shin willing to take a life. And I'm interested to see how it goes. So once again, that comment in combination with a lot of everyone else's comments and just thinking on it more, I am very much interested in Shin's direction, but I just don't. I don't see Shin catching a body. It seems too far. It seems too far. And I think there are other ways the character can progress even without taking a body. So let's see what Suzuki Sensei has to cook. I'm resigning from the Sakamoto store. I'm gonna be an assassin again. Which is crazy. But I mean, you do you, King. I was like, Heisuke's like, dude, not legal. I don't know where you got that idea from. Broski, You aren't making any sense, yo! What do you mean you're going back to being an assassin, yo? What's up with you? Oh, I thought she was about to tweak out and be like, hey, Skay, the first person to get my body count up, I'll take you. But no, he okay, but that's the thing. Tenkyu, it's weird. I'll admit, Tenkyu's been mad funky. And I keep having to bring up the same headcanon that he actually did develop some sort of connection and care for Shin and Heisuke. The fact that Shin, though presumably he is seeing the future, right? His eyes aren't called like he's seeing the future, but he probably is seeing the future and perceiving Tenkyu's actions before he makes them. And plus, Tenkyu, it's a pretty linear shot. But the fact that Tenkyu's like struggling, it's kind of weird, but then again, maybe he's still not trying. Like, it's really hard to tell with Tenkyu especially. But like, a big thing that was kind of established during, not even during, but like, by pretty much every single member of the Alkmaar kids, even the ones who have perished at this point, like Gaku and like Hanuma, they typically don't go all out unless they're like forced to. And of course, this is the first one outside of Kumanomi who's like heavily based in direct range that they control. Kumanomi can probably like control the force of the magnetism that she launches with, right? But like, we've seen it before. Gaku didn't go all out until forced to. Hanuma didn't go all out ever, realistically. And then when he was forced to, it was too late because he's fighting Sakamoto. Heck, even Uzuki seems somewhat suppressed and will not immediately route the personalities until he's pushed to his limits and then the personalities come out. So this may just be another thing where Tenkyu is like holding back enough for Shin to do this, because for what Tenkyu's implied to be, the actual success of the Alkmaar kids, the perfect slaughter machine, it's actually kind of absurd that he's struggling to take out these two. And I get it. Meta-narratively, he's not taking out... That's the thing. We're in a weird stalemate, narratively, right? Like, not only am I convinced that Tenkyu or Shin cannot catch a body in this arc, because it's going to be too much, like, it'd be a crazy character plot point. And I'd be interested to see how Sakamoto and him deal with that, and like the conflict that would bring to their dynamic and relationship and all this stuff like that. I see the vision for it, but at the same time, I don't see Tenkyu catching a body either, or at least not a body of anyone else. Well, then maybe the female guard, right? Because she's still alive. But like, I don't see him catching Atari's body. I don't see him catching Heisuke's body. And I don't see him catching Shin's body. So ultimately, ironically enough, he's going to keep slaughtering randoms that keep showing up, I guess. But like, outside of that, I don't know if Tenkyu's really going to be able to show off his like lethal efficiency. But then again, now that I think about it, they got what's his name? Hyo. That was about it. Like the Alkmaar, they haven't really been too successful now that I think about it. Gaku failed both times. But then again, of course, Gaku ran up into the two best fighters in the order. He ran into Takamura and Nagamo. Like, of course, he's going to lose both of those fights. And Nagamo's also a major character, so he can't win there. Uzuki, I mean, he's caught bodies, but they're not, like, relevant bodies. I can't name a single person Uzuki has actually slain other than Rion. But, like, whoop-de-doo. Cool story, bro. She didn't know she was fighting you, and paused when she found out she did, allowing you to get that dub. So, like, that doesn't really count. Haruma, like, once again, he caught random bodies. So like, maybe I just have too high of a standard for the Alkmaar kids. Maybe I'm just taking the whole idea that they're meant to be, like, pre-made order-level people too seriously, because they haven't really succeeded. And don't get me wrong, they were probably going to eventually slaughter Shishiba, but even then, Carolina Reaper and Club Gem probably weren't even Alkmaar kids. They were just extra hires by Uzuki. So, like, I don't know. Maybe they are just fodder. But let's see. But I still feel like they should be an entirely different tier than what Shin and Heisuke have to offer. But let's see. Boom! Impressive. I can't believe you dodged that. Heisuke, do you think this guy needs to die? Huh? I can't answer that. I think he does. That's how I truly feel. Okay. I'm gonna sound mad fan and Batman-esque. Break every bone in his body. Remove a limb. Remove 2 limbs. Can he fire with his feet? Probably. Move his toes. Make sure he can't grip anything. Like that. Like, it reminded me very much. This is minor spoilers for God of High School. But, and I'll try to stay as vague as possible. Those who have read God of High School fully will know exactly which arc I'm talking about and exactly the fight I'm talking about. But there's this arc in God of High School where 2 major characters who are fully opposed to the idea of taking lives are put in a scenario where they're fighting a bunch of people. People who range from actually decently powerful to literal fodder. And the thing that they both agree to do is to not take their lives, as that would be bad for every reason. But they decide to break every bone in their body. They will harm them grievously, but ultimately will not take any life. you could technically do the same to Tenkyu. Obviously, this is a verse of extreme healing and superhuman abilities, so he'd probably be fine in a bit. But like, Shin, you don't have to off him to remove the danger, unless you think Tenkyu can fight with no limp. Like you could get devious, but not too devious. You could get devious within the bounds of what the Sakamoto story family allows, because I didn't hear anything about dismemberment. Like in the Sakamoto family, cool. I didn't hear anything about dismemberment. You can do it. Break his bones and make sure they don't heal properly. You have ways, Shin. You have ways to do this within the parameters of what you're allowed to do, Buckaroo. You have to get a little bit creative. You have to be real creative. But like, you could do it. Don't be shy. Let's see. That's how I truly feel. Shin. And Tenkyu's like, oh, that's how you feel about me, huh? Interesting. I don't get it. Hold this arrow. Let's see. Once, when I read Mr. Sakamoto's mind, there was a memory of Ao saying, killing is wrong. No matter who they are, everyone is precious to someone. And that is true. But like, because like, here's the thing, right? I don't fully disagree with shit. Like, not even. But then again, I'm always like weirdly. I'm a person, and I mentioned this last week, but I'll mention it again. Taking somebody's life is kind of easy, ain't it? Like, they go and then that's it. They don't have nothing else, as far as we know. Like, that's it. Best thing you can do is lock them away forever. Make them powerless. Make them trapped in their own body. That's the best way. Man, that's the best way to get vindication and make sure that they don't hurt anybody, and to make sure that they get their just desserts. Let them live forever alone. Let their mind do the damage. Let them be trapped forever. That's a me kind of thing. And I think that it's a twisted way, but it preserves Ao's principles, and by proxy Sakamoto's principles, where ultimately you get to, it's a caveat. Don't get me wrong, it's a caveat and it's still devious, but it's a caveat that works. Ultimately, I agree that everyone is precious to somebody, and everything is true from a certain point of view. But ultimately, there's some people who cannot be allowed to keep doing what they were once doing. But you can make that happen without taking their life. Okay. I wanted to become that kind of person too, but I can't do it because not everyone's a good person. Yeah. Well, like, Shin, you met a bunch of bad people. You fought a bunch of bad people, bro. Let's see. Tenkyu's like, I could not kill it. Gee, he's using the bow as like a sledge? Golly, what is that? I know it's heavy, but like, what's that thing made of, dog? Boom. Boom, crack a lack. Ooh, through the floor. Shin, grab my hand. I know I'm supposed to like take this seriously, and it is sad to see Shin like completely, truly, properly abandon his morals and everything, and be like, I'm sorry, Heisuke, I can't do it. But like, I don't know. This just seems like this just from the not grabbing to this panel. It just looks so emo. Like, oh, Heisuke, you just don't understand my emotional struggle. I need to be an assassin. I need to do darkness for the sake of the light. Like, it's very Kingdom Hearts-esque, but it feels like it's almost without the awareness. Like, I personally, I love Kingdom Hearts. If you couldn't tell, it is always there. It will always haunt me. It is a part of my soul. But I do love Kingdom Hearts. And there are times where I do genuinely believe that Nomura or the scenario writers, like, they know how absurd some of this stuff is, and that's why they'll occasionally poke fun at it, either in interviews or sometimes even in the very games themselves. But like, this feels like this is meant to be the serious moment where Shin's like, he's giving into the darkness. But I just hear like all the edgy early 2000s songs playing on loop in Shin's head. I'm like, dude, really? And I get it. The main reason Shin doesn't grab his hand here is so he can focus on actually slaughtering Tenkyu in order to make sure that Tenkyu doesn't escape, right? Because the thing is, Tenkyu escapes, and then they never know when he could show up. Especially considering he's a long ranger. All he needs to do is stand on some building, any decent bit away, and then Hana or Ao are gone. Just in that instant. So I get it. Shin logistically, with his current mindset, is making the right choice to not go with Heisuke, so Heisuke can, one, stay pure, and two, that he can complete his objective, and making sure Tenkyu does not escape here. At all. Ever. And make sure he permanently. Let's see. Shin, you invited me to join Sakamoto's store. I don't want to be there without you. Sorry, Lou. Heisuke doesn't like you either. Suzuki-sensei, Heisuke, nobody likes you. Well, except for, I keep forgetting the guy's name. He's ironically been more important than Heisuke. But, or not more important than Heisuke, more important than Lou himself. It's Lee or Lou something. Well, no, it can't be Lou, because Lou is Lou. Is it like Lee Fang? I'm not sure what the guy's name is, but he cares. That's about it. Let's see. Shin's following. The Sakamoto family rules? The Sakamoto family rules? No killing. If you're part of our household, they're your rules too. Oh, right. I'm trusting you to handle this. Got it. I'm saying, don't underestimate me. Don't go there. You're no match for me. And that's the weird thing. Like, since we know concretely that even Sakamoto is not order level, and I still think Shin gets pretty much high diffed by Sakamoto, like, it's still absurd to me that that Tenkyu is not immediately wiping Shin. But then again, I guess Shin may just be built like that. Let's see. I care a lot about people. I care about a lot of people now. If I can protect someone, I'm going to do it. I care about a lot of people now. If I can protect someone, I'm going to do it. Shin, I want your help with this. Of course! Oh, okay, look at that. JAA prison lowest. So what? Never mind. Look at Suzuki-sensei. Suzuki-sensei heard me saying, oh, I guess Suzuki-sensei just gave up the third floor. And Suzuki-sensei was like, wait! They don't draw you like I draw you. Wait! And then proceeded to give me the third floor. Alright. But I wonder if the question is now, will any of these deepest, darkest, most diabolical criminals show up and somehow get involved or not? Let's see. JA prison, lowest floor, B3. Ugh! Ooh. Darn! Once again, and this is actually very impressive. I'm assuming it's because the thoughts kind of work as like a 360 broadcast, so you can just hear where Tenkyu's going. And by hear, I mean like hear the thoughts or the intentions to aim. But still, it's very impressive that Tenkyu is consistently missing Shin, and Shin's able to consistently keep a lock on Tenkyu like this. Let's see. Especially from this decent of a distance. Like, Shin's nowhere near close to where Tenkyu is. Let's see. Oh. Okay, never mind. I think I read that wrong. Yeah. Never mind. The shot came from the water, not from up here. I thought Tenkyu had like latched onto something up here as he was falling, and then shot from this angle. But no. Shin's a lot closer than Tenkyu than I thought. He shoots from out of the water. Splack. Hey, I like what you said back there. I finally feel like I heard your true feelings, Shin. Trying to be a good person is tiring, right? I get it. Like, obviously, I'm not into the extreme, but it is hard. It is hard to be an intentionally good person. Like, obviously, there's some people who can just do it instinctively, and I try to. And I don't think I've been, like, instinctively a bad person, but I do find myself much more, like, neutral / self-centered and more personally focused, or focused directly on my family and stuff like that. To be an overall good person, at least in my opinion, is to, like, give yourself to all people. And while I may have been more for that when I was younger, as I've gotten older and older, I definitely more so, like, focused in on my own personal growth, and personal growth of those I care for, right? It's like my closest friends, my family, like, stuff like that. And it's hard sell even then sometimes, right? Where you want to be there for everyone you know and everyone you care for, but even then it's a struggle to do that. And sometimes they fall short, just like many people fall short. But Shin, he looks like he's given up on that too. Let's see. Well, actually, no, that's the thing. It reminds me a lot of another scenario in a recent popular manga that I reviewed on the channel, where a character ultimately is sacrificing their morals, quote unquote, to maintain their morals. Or sacrificing who they are in order to achieve the same thing, or to do the same thing that they were already doing while they were still sticking to said morals. You know exactly which one I'm talking about if you know which one I'm talking about, but still. Let's see. Yeah. All the people around me are so good. It's ridiculous. That's why I won't let anyone hurt them, even if I have to kill you. Tenkyu. Good luck with that. Wow. When you put it that way, it somehow sounds justified. Despite that, you're ultimately just a killer. So is there really any difference between you and me? There's no difference. That's the problem, you idiot. There is, though. I mean, well, you know what? Actually, in this... Well, no, because it still is different. That's the thing. I can't, like, this is not a, we're the same, you and I. This isn't that kind of scenario. Mainly because, for all intents and purposes, if I'm being completely honest, they're still different. Even though both are slaying to do something for their family, ultimately, Shin is slaying someone, and by proxy giving up the right to his family in order to protect his family. Tenkyu lost the right to his family by saying that he was going to take somebody else's family away. And now he's trying to slaughter in order to get back into said family. So one is slaying to leave while protecting, while the other is slaying to not even protect, but to gain the advantage for and then return to. So they're different in that way. And also it's just the general mentality. This is Shin's first ever kill. Meanwhile, Tenkyu slaughtered like countless people. In this, since we've met him. Not to talk about how many people he slaughtered before. Like he used a bowstring to go through a guy's head. Like this guy, he's like that. So there still is a difference, right? Like it's kind of like the ultimatum that Batman comes to at the end of Final Crisis, where he's like, yeah, sure, my moral code is absolutely based on the idea that I do not take any life under any circumstance, Darkseid. But if I don't take your life, everybody, like the whole thing of Final Crisis, at least I think I'm naming the proper crisis. The thing of Final Crisis is that Darkseid's shadow, or his dying corpse, was literally falling on creation. Like because of the scale of who he was as a new guy, he was going to kill everything. So Batman was like, bang, like he unloaded simply because he was like, dude, if I don't do this, everyone goes. So right now, technically, Batman and Darkseid, they were the same in the sense that they were both killers. Not the same. It's like self-defense versus active. Like, yeah, the act is the same, technically. But the context, why it's happening, and how it's happening, completely different. So no, there is a difference, both Shin and Tenkyu. But though I do like that Tenkyu does seem actively happy with this, right? Like, he's not even pointing out Shin's hypocrisy to be like, you're a hypocrite. How dare you, Shin? You shouldn't take my life. He's like, yes, Shin, you are just like me. We can be friends. We can finally understand each other. Tap me up, bro. As I proceed to put an arrow through your skull. Like, Tenkyu truly is complete. I can see why even the other members of Alkamar feared the boy a little bit, because he's clearly like that. But did this man... What... Is it me, or does this look drawn back? Like, it looks like he fired... Like, am I tweaking? This looks like it's... This looks like it's flat out drawn wrong. I mean, maybe you can fire a bow that way. I guess there's nothing stopping you from firing a bow that way. But, like, that means... I mean, I guess technically you would get more draw, right? Like, say you pull it back to the same point you would before. Maybe you get more draw. I don't know. That seems strange, though. Like, I always think of a bow being fired. Like, at least to me, based on the drawing, it looks like he fired like this with a string, and then he pulled it back past the bow, where typically you would fire a bow like this. I don't know. That seemed weird to me. But it's like, oh, wow. You can dodge that kind of speed? I'm sorry. I keep switching up Tenkyu's voice. Well, this goes beyond having lightning reflexes. It's more like a psychic ability. Does he have the power to see the immediate future? Well, that makes things tricky. I have to draw back the bowstring. There's no avoiding a split-second delay. If I use my bow the regular way, he can dodge everything. But you know what? Now that we're finally getting in Tenkyu's head a little bit more, I do like how tactical and logical he is internally. While he does definitely seem like a more naive, happy-go-lucky, carefree guy on the outside, there is like the ever-ticking mind of a master. Like someone who knows their craft, how to execute it, and is easily breaking down the scenario. Up to this point, since especially considering he's under the context that Shin was completely lying about being a fortune teller and seeing the future, and just organizing situations to make it seem like he was, right now, he has no idea what Shin's abilities actually are. But after a couple interactions and seeing how Shin is doing certain things, he's like, okay, this is clearly not just base human reaction speed. There must be some sort of psychic ability involved. Which I know he does believe and is hunting down the fortune teller, or it was until Atari ran out of luck. But still, it's impressive that he's able to immediately break that down and what looks like automatically come with a counter strategy. Let's see. Well then. Ooh, okay. So he shot at the ground. Ugh. Just gotta make it impossible to dodge, right? It's that multi-stage setup. It's that It's that hidden Bardock B real quick. Make sure you can't move. Let me lock you down a little bit. I feel so bad for Bardock and fellow Bardock players. Admittedly, he's not my main, but like, man, they nerfed that man to the ground. But we're not even nerfed him. He's a combination of straight hard nerfs and power creep. Poor Bardock. But let's see. I'm talking about Fighter Z Bark in particular, not Sparking Zero. Which shockingly, I still don't even own Sparking Zero. Nothing exactly called me through the game, despite how much I was hyped for it. But let's see. Stop! He skipped him like a rock. Wait. Did Tenkyu just brute force it? I was really talking about it being in the chapter. Pointed out to me that Shin's new ability has yet to be like actually resisted. Hold on. Let's see. Boom. Okay, the one thing I have to always give to Shin though, this boy is mad durable. Like, he's insanely durable. He bounced off the ground twice and then into a wall, and he's still conscious though. What? After getting hit with a bow that probably weighs like 300 pounds? That's absurd. Boom. I can't overwrite this guy's thoughts. Wait, no. I did stop him one time. Wait, why? Oh, so yeah. What's the difference between then? What's different between then and now? Well, that ability sounds... Wait. Shoot, it's been so long since Sakamoto existed. What voice do I give him? Well, that ability sounds way too convenient. So, I'm wondering if there's any risks involved. Oh, is it like is it a multi-use thing where it becomes less and less effective every time you use it? It's like, what is it? What is it? There's like, I forget what the move's called. There's like, there's a move... It's like every single time you use it, its efficacy goes down. Oh, well, no, it's not. I'm thinking, like, my brain is screaming Water Spout, but Water Spout works where it's at max power when you have full HP, but the less HP you have, the less powerful it is. That's why, like, Choice Specs Kyogre or, like, Scarf Kyogre is so stupid, because, like, Rain plus Drizzle plus Full Health plus Water Spout, boom. But it's not that. There's a move I'm thinking of in something that, like, the more times it's used... Oh! Black Myth Wukong, which... Peep the staff real quick. Peep the staff. I honestly, low-key wish it was taller, but then again, at the same time, I'm only 2 feet tall. The staff is literally like 3 knees. But still, in Black Myth Wukong, there are certain like spells and abilities that get less effective the more you use them on a singular enemy. And like mobilize on certain bosses, sometimes they can just reflect it, but other times they can like just straight up the increments get shorter, even though there's a perk in game that allows some spells cast to last longer. Or for example, the Apromonobat Spirit, it's real good for the first 2 freezes, but afterwards a boss will just take damage. They won't be frozen anymore by the Apromonobat, so it just gets less effective the more and more you use it. Maybe that's the case for Shin's ability. If he doesn't one-shot somebody with it or immediately defeat them afterwards, maybe he can only use it once or twice before their brain starts to be like, whoa. Let's see. Come to think of it, up until now, I've never used this power more than once on the same person, which is crazy to think about, but also really, really bad, because that means a good chunk of the order has adapted. Well, not a good chunk of the order, just Osaragi and Kamihate, but they've adapted to his ability. So if he ever runs into either of them again, he's not gonna be able to stop them. Ooh, what is this? Is he gonna launch himself? What is this? And what is this piece of metal that's so strong it's actually being able to resist him? Bro made himself the arrow. Okay, Tenkyu's like that. I like it. Shin, were you able to react? Boom. Okay, that's mad. He made himself the arrow and then just said, "Shin, come here, dude. You don't want to space out like that, darn. Through multiple walls, through 4 whole walls, golly." Unlike you, I don't hesitate to kill, Shin. Fine, bring it. Like, thank you. I know you don't hesitate to kill, but are you fodder? Like, how is this man still alive? He's supposed to not even be anywhere near the order tier. And yet you, someone who's meant to hunt order members, you're struggling to off him, bro? Like, I get it. He's a main character. He's our deuteragonist. You cannot take his life. But, like, thank you, bro. For someone who hesitates to kill, you sure are struggling. Buckaroo. Let's see. Boom. Shin. Oh, wow, they can hear that. But then again, I guess the floor 3 was right beneath them. Oh, Atari's like, no, I've run out of luck. I can't train him anymore. But then I still find that concept interesting. I kind of glazed it over in last review, but the idea that you can just run out of luck. And the fact that her ability allows her to siphon luck from her future. Let's see. If I don't do something, we'll lose him. Taro, what should I do? Okay. Find a sniper rifle. Let's see. Wait! What are you doing here? Huh? Who's that? Yo, are you the JA's all-powerful fortune teller? What? How did you get down here? Well, I guess maybe who's stopping tourists? But like, dog, what are you doing? You were just with so did Sakamoto let you go? Who's Sakamoto fighting right now? What is happening? Why are you here? Yo, are you the JA's all-powerful fortune teller? I need a reading on this horse racing ticket. So it looks like we may get Tenkyu versus an order member. Very, very fat. Darn, G. Was not. I mean, I guess the arcs kind of did have to link somehow, but I was not expecting Taurus to be the linking point. All right. W chapter. Once again, this chapter, it sets up Shin's future arc. I think that's what we're focusing on. It's going to be all about Shin and reflecting on his stance within this universe, especially as a person who is powerful, but powerful in his own unique way. And very specifically, has a code of conduct that he always stood by, but never really understood the value of. And ultimately, I think Sakamoto, once naturally, he is the titular character, is going to be the key to Shin understanding his value in spite, not because of, but in spite of his ability to take lives, right? Because Sakamoto was the greatest assassin ever, right? So he's a person who went from taking lives all the time, to not doing it ever. And I think ultimately he'll be the one that is going to be able to like break it down to Shin and be like, hey, here's how you deal with this. Even in scenarios where you feel like taking someone's life is the only option, this is how you can handle it. This is how you view it. And you just got to be there to protect the people you really care for at their times of need. If I had to have to guess, that's how I think this is going to go. But that aside, a W chapter. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave horse racing. Yes, literally just the term horse racing, because I'm still bamboozled like, of all characters to just show up randomly. My glorious King Taurus. All right, let's see what's about to go down. But I want to thank you so much for watching. Ooh, gosh darn it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1. Come on, no one. Healings, exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions wherever the series I have to review, and free reactions of all my videos, and become a $12 Patreon or a $12 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, we have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Once again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that with a pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A plus A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Uchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final gracious gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.